Is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. These are the voyages of the GNT show. Our continuing mission to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to Boliga, where no show has gone before. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the GNT Show, episode 281. I'm Terry Lynn, and I'm not sure if he's ready yet or not. His mic might be connected. We'll find out. But sitting to my left is Gettysburg 7.
Go on true. Sup.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Sup. There he is in the glass enclosed nerve center. Doing my Tracy Morgan impression. There he is in the glass enclosed nerve center. Ceridium.
Kapla.
Diaper.
For the moment there, I thought you were doing like the movie phone guy.
I'm doing Tracy Morgan.
Okay.
James was my uncle.
Good morning, everybody. And Steve, good morning.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Mr. 10,000 Steps a Day. Look at
I
you
know.
nailing it.
Yes, gradually getting there.
He sounds so tired.
I've had too much rest from just passing out in the evenings because of the sinuses and allergies. Just, yeah, for me, having several hours rest is like somebody else having like an hour's sleep for a night. Just that's causing me more problems than anything else. I'm just weird.
Well,
I didn't say it. Notice, I didn't say it.
yeah, and we love you and because of it. So there you have it. Well, good morning, everybody. Everybody good?
Yep.
I'm tired.
Yep.
From
But then again, you just flew in from Boston,
yeah.
Yeah, and her
And
arms are tired.
Ah,
and you're about to fly out to Seattle as well. So
yeah,
it's
tomorrow
like,
morning.
oh man,
I know, Anchorage, Boston, and Seattle in less than 2 weeks.
you're racking up them freaking
I am
flyer
totally
miles.
racking up the miles, let me tell you. And it was my first time in Boston, so it was pretty fun.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? It's a nice city. It's
No,
a
it's
nice
not.
city. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
I didn't get to go see a baseball game though, because they were all traveling somewhere else.
Did you
Yeah,
get
they're
a
on a big
chance-
road trip right now.
Did you get a chance to see Janet?
No, Miss Janet, unfortunately, there are some personal issues in her life right now that kept her from being able to visit, and our love and our condolences to her and her whole family regarding
Yes.
just a whole bunch of shit.
Yep.
My offer still stands.
I know
um,
what Nick's referring to.
I don't know what that is, and I don't know if I want to know.
I just asked her if she needed me. I should talk to somebody.
Oh, I know. She's so nice.
Give them brick shoes.
You talk to somebody. So yeah, it was fun. Boston was great. The lobster was fantastic. The conference was very educational. Lots to take home and chew on. And then off to the court. I'm off to court in Seattle to watch oral arguments in front of the Ninth Circuit, which should be fun. And so yay, that's kind of what I had going on this week. What about you, Nick?
I'm trying to remember. Well, nothing major. Just it's been real interesting because I've been posting pictures. We've been out on our deck grilling, and there's a
Oh,
family
nice.
of deer
Deer.
that just are coming out of the woods and pretty much not that far from us, and we just stand there all quiet and look at them and take pictures and just enjoy it.
That's so cool.
Right on.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. And they're your little baby, and then it's so cute because there's a little rabbit that follows them. I swear to God, it's like Bambi and Thumper because this little rabbit follows them everywhere they go.
Aw.
And we
That's
saw
awesome.
last night. We saw this blue jay in the tree right next to us. That it was the most stunning. And there's also a cardinal that's flying around that's
Oh,
so
cool.
bright red. Yeah, so it's just been fun being out on the deck and watching the animals and the wildlife, and it's real quiet back there. So we just enjoy it. And the cat, she ignores it all because she
She's
wants
very
a
cute,
treat.
though. Yeah. What about you, Mikey? What did you do this week?
Let's see. I got an early birthday present from family.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
But I think there's a reason behind it. The kids go on vacation in 3 days, and I think we are their daycare center. But I had I was gifted an Xbox One.
Nice.
So
That's great.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get one for the kids for a while, and I guess someone's been listening to me.
That's very cool.
So
That's very cool. Well, I know the kids will be the one taking advantage of it
oh,
most
they
of
already
the
have.
time. Yeah.
They already have.
So it's
but-
theirs, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. Although I did install Stowe on it. Mason actually has started a character.
Yay.
I tried to actually talk him out of Klingon. I thought
I'm gonna believe that for a second.
he wanted to make a Klingon. I said no, you should try Federation. They'll, if you don't know Star Trek, that'll be a good way to learn about it. And he's like, no, I want to play Klingon. And I was like, okay, that's my boy.
Cool. That's so
Well,
cute.
I've got all this Klingon stuff all over the room here, so he immediately saw the Klingon and was like, I'm gonna be Klingon. He's like, okay, are you sure? So he started that, and I have to say some of the games that we had before on the Xbox 360 compared to playing them on the one, it's like, wow. huge difference.
Yeah. I bet.
Lego Dimensions is just it's shiny again. So yeah, we're having fun with that. Yeah, and shout out to Sandy Watson. Thank you.
Okay. Steve, I know you've been walking a lot. Anything else you've been doing this week?
No, it's usually just been working, podcasting, and walking. That's literally been all I've been doing.
Well, we're all still very, very proud of you and everything that you're doing. Again, how can people support you in your endeavors to cure cancer?
They can head over to fundraise.cancerresearchuk.org/page/Steve Roberts UK. And I'll put the link in our chat, and it'll also be in show notes. And if you follow me, I'm making sure I take an image every time I go out and putting in sort of how many steps I'm doing each day as a little progress report as well. So I'm halfway to my target. I'm hoping to raise $1,000, and so far I've got 500.
Fantastic.
Right on.
So if you can, please donate.
Very cool. one of the things I forgot to tell you guys, did you see me tweet about what happened at Logan Airport, about how cool this was?
I hadn't. No. So.
All right. So when I land at Boston at Logan Airport, I had to check a bag because I was going to be there for a long period of time. Also, when I travel for business, I need to bring a lot more stuff, right? Laptops and iPads and blah blah blah. So I had to check a bag. So I come all the way across the terminal, and it was a big airport. Get to the carousel, and I realized I'm kind of early. And in a big airport like that, usually takes a little longer for your luggage to get onto the carousel. And as I'm looking around for a bathroom, to be honest with you, and I look off to my right, and there's a TSA. There's like a booth with two nice security TSA officers sitting in this booth, real nice. Just said register for TSA pre-check here, and I'm like, oh my god, you mean I don't, because here where I live, I would have to schlep all the way down to the federal building to do it, which is why I've put it off to do the registration for the pre-check. And so I walked over there and I said, do I have to be from this part of town to do this? And they were like, no, if you have your passport, let's, we can do it, and we can do the interview here. You'll be done in a few minutes. I'm like, holy crap, let's do this. So yeah, it took all of about 10 minutes. And what was really cute was when she asked for my email address, I gave her my Gmail address, which of course contains 1701 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looked at me, and I said, yeah, it's a Star Trek reference. And she goes, okay. She goes, I wasn't sure, but that's cool. And so we fill out all of the applications. She goes through a few of the questionnaire with me. She goes, okay, and now I need you to stand up. And she takes this little cover off of the electronic fingerprint machine. She goes, now I need you to do the Vulcan salute and press your fingers on the glass.
Nice.
And it was split because the way that they take their fingerprints are split with an index, middle, ring, little. You do have to split your fingers that way. So I thought it was pretty funny. And I was done. It took all of 10 minutes. I got my approval the day before yesterday via email. I have my known traveler ID now. All done. That was the coolest thing ever. Every airport should have one of those.
Right on.
Oh my gosh. Anybody else before we actually talk about a little of the news?
Oh, we went strawberry picking.
I saw those strawberries. They look delicious.
I went strawberry picking.
Now, did you actually have to pick the strawberries?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We go to this orchard. This area has so many orchards, and like in October, the National Apple Orchard Festival is or Apple Harvest Festival is not that far from us, and we went last year. It doesn't sound like much, but it was actually really fun. But no, Mike, we go to this orchard, and they lead us back. We take our car, and they lead us back to the field. And they ask what we told them what kind we wanted to pick, because we didn't realize there were like so many different kinds of strawberries. The ones that Mel really likes are Early Glory. They're smaller and they're real sweet. And she points out the row. She looks at the best row and says, "Here you go. Go as far down as you want." So we filled 4 quarts of strawberries.
Oh, very cool.
Right on.
They looked really nice and red and juicy.
Yeah. Oh, they're unbelievable. And we bought some pound cake from the Mennonites.
Yum.
Yeah, and made strawberry shortcake last night, and the cherries are starting to come in. Yeah, we love going to the local. We don't even buy our vegetables or fruit at the supermarket anymore because there's so many farmers markets and pick your own fields and stuff around here.
Right
Yeah.
on.
I remember in Michigan we used to do a lot of that, a lot of cherry picking, a lot of apples, strawberries, anything that they
Yeah,
could grow.
and yeah,
Um,
exactly, because like this place we went to, they have a chart on the wall with like color tape and show you the months that things are in season. So like, it's not until like August or September that the apples are because they're a fall thing. So, but like all the green beans, the different vegetables and fruits, corn, all of that, and like the one farm has a deal with a farm in Florida. They send them strawberries, and those people send them from Florida the watermelon. Oh my God, I bit into this watermelon. It was candy, I tell you, candy. So
really?
good.
Oh, that sounds so delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yes,
we have farmers markets, but we don't really have a lot of pick your own around here because our agriculture is pretty much
meth.
no, no. It's mostly for the support agriculture. It's not a lot of
Right.
except for our Native American tribes. Our Native Americans, they grow their own food. They they have a lot of agriculture, especially if they're in the basin along the river, but the ag that we have here, especially in southern, just south of Albuquerque, is mostly for export. So it's going to be chili and almonds, a lot of almonds, and a lot of cotton and alfalfa.
For us, I mean,
Oh,
we're
you're in the
surrounded.
middle of ag
Yeah.
heaven, dude.
Yeah, so we just drive out almost to the nearest rural corner, and there's like these kiosks.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, am I getting more
Peaches and
trucks explode?
what was it? Oh,
No, thank goodness. But I think we had a total of 4 in a space of like 3 days.
Magneto and the gang are attacking out where Mike lives.
I swear to God,
It
all
was
those trucks, that
crazy.
fire was just amazeballs. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, McDonald's, the drive-through was shut down. They still haven't opened, but the restaurant itself is. But
Holy
Of
man,
course
crap.
it is.
it was scary because you're referring to the one right off the freeway. There's literally a gas station like less than 50 feet away from where this blaze was.
Mm.
The gas truck that flipped over that's where it was going, was to that gas station.
How the fuck did it flip over?
I don't know.
You have to wonder if the driver fell asleep at the wheel.
Must have, because
Or he was getting up.
either that or he was pulling off.
He was pulling.
On the exit, going a little too fast because it is a sharp
Yeah.
exit. So that's what I personally think might have happened. Because if there was a problem, if he knew that he was on fire, there were safer places to pull off.
Right.
Even just while on the freeway. So I don't even think he knew that he was on fire.
Was he on fire beforehand, or it was a fuel truck. He could have just exploded
It's
after.
like an episode of Chips.
Seriously, right?
From what I understand, he was on fire beforehand.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
Was there any like electrical storms or anything going on?
Not that I know
No.
of. No. It was a clear day. It was
Weird.
a nice day, except then
Until the smoke hit.
until the smoke hit.
Wow,
Weird.
that's crazy.
But yeah, it was scary. It was
All
scary.
right, so I have not seen it yet, but which one of you guys saw the new Wonder Woman film?
Of course I did.
I'm
My
seeing it
next
on
wife
Tuesday.
stars in it.
So Steve's seen it on Tuesday. Nick's seen it. Mike, you?
I want to see it, but I have not yet.
So they had to adjust the figures again for the third time.
What do you mean?
Well,
What
on
figures are you
Thursday
referring
they
to?
projected that it would take $100 million, which would break records. But Forbes magazine yesterday came out and said they had to readjust due to rising ticket sales. And it looks like she might clear between 200 and 250 million domestic.
Nice.
That's huge. That's a big fucking opening for any movie. Not
Well,
even.
let me.
Way to go, DC.
Well,
Finally.
Yeah.
here, Steve, you're not gonna like this. Finally, DC put something on the screen where one, the hero is heroic.
Uh-huh.
Two, the hero is inspirational,
Uh-huh.
and the hero I don't want to say enjoys, but the hero enjoys isn't the word.
Accepts her role.
Perfect word, Mike. Accepts what
Not this.
that's what she's
Oh,
doing.
I gotta go save the day again.
She feels a sense of duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so nice to see that from a DC movie. And guess what, Terry? Guess what this movie has?
What?
Organic laughs in it.
Organic laughs?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
I'm really excited to see it. I really
and guess
am.
what she doesn't do?
Take off her top.
She doesn't cry and whine and and it's Gal Gadot.
She's so pretty.
Oh God. But I do have one criticism of the film.
Yeah, a lot of people know that it's not perfect, but they say it comes
lest
close.
anyone accuse me of misogyny, it has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has to do. Chris Pine is awesome in it. Chris Pine is pretty much awesome in everything. I mean, I'm not saying that as a fanboy. He's just a
Chris
solid
Pine.
actor. Yeah,
He
he's
is. He's a
solid
great actor.
The problem I have is his dialogue sounds like it's a guy from 2017, not 1918.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make
Did he
sense.
like use a dude?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't dude her. But it's just. It's. I don't know how.
It pulls you out of the period.
It's not.
It does.
Period.
It does.
Language.
When he says things like, "Oh, come on, we can't do that," and that's a horrible example, but I think you understand what I'm saying. He, to me, she didn't sound like that. Maybe it's because of her accent or her delivery or whatever, but to me, he sounded like a guy from 2017
Interesting.
in World War One. And no, Mike, he was not a temporal agent.
I knew you were gonna go there. Right on.
But that was my only problem with it. I mean, yeah, there's a few plot holes and everything, and the action scene. There's a scene, a fight on a beach. And that's all I'm gonna say. Blew me away. I was just like gasping because it was so awesome.
Very cool.
I know that this is supposed to be kind of like a prequel to the Justice League era stuff that we're going to be getting. But
well, it starts
I'm wondering
with her today. This is no spoiler. No spoiler. Bruce Wayne sends her a photo of her from World War One. Says, "I hope someday you'll tell me the story of this." And then she looks at it, and then it goes back to the story.
It's a
So
flashback.
and then at the end it ties up with her sending Bruce an email thanking him. I mean, no spoiler there at all. That's just bookending storytelling is what that is. But yeah, it's telling why she left Themyscira and how she got involved in World War One and all of that.
Right on. So okay, so I'm assuming that there probably won't be very many like Justice League type Easter eggs.
None that I saw. No.
Okay.
No, this is her story.
Awesome. Right on.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm very happy with what I'm hearing about the character. I would have been very, very upset if they had done to Wonder Woman what they had done to Superman, to be honest with you.
I would be livid.
So
No, she is a
I'm very
god.
pleased
In
that
this
she
movie,
is who
she is
she
a
is.
god. And I'm not saying that to be funny, because if you know her origin,
Oh yeah, no.
yeah, she is a god.
Right. It's like that's cool. Um so speaking of films, today over at the Fog of Ward, which of course is Dayton Ward's
Who?
blog.
Who?
What was that?
Who?
Yeah, Dayton. He goes into a lovely congratulatory happy 35th anniversary to the Wrath of Khan.
Jesus Christ. How old are we?
That's kind of how that's how he sums up his blog, which is holy shit, I'm old.
Good
So,
God.
We know 35 years since the Wrath of Khan. 35 years. Oh, yeah. I remember the film well.
Speaking of Nicholas Meyer, well, it's Nicholas Meyer adjacent since
Right.
he produced Wrath of Khan. But did you see the interview with him?
I did, and I'm intrigued as well. Has everybody seen this little nugget that came out
Mm-hmm.
from Nicholas Meyer?
A second Star Trek project he's working on?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything.
It
from
could
a
be anything. It
book
could
or
be a
comic, but it could be
comic.
a
Porno.
film. It could be a another series. Which, oh man, my heart just skipped a beat. Oh man, excuse me. But there's the universe. There's so much potential, and I think that he even says it. There's so much potential in the universe. I mean, it could definitely support multiple series. I'm just saying, it just definitely can. And I would, oh man.
What's so funny is that I actually picked up on something else in what he said.
Oh?
Okay. So Trek Movie had this interview with him, and the question or the statement from Trek Movie was this. Obviously, there's much more Star Trek piled up on the shelf now that is harder to ignore. With Wrath of Khan, there really wasn't a lot. Now there may even be too much to deal with. And his response was this. I think that is fair. What can I say? What I can say is that when Brian Fuller invented Star Trek Discovery and conceived it, this is where you have to listen, he found a niche in the chronology that allows for another stream.
Say that again.
He found a niche.
No, before that.
What can I say is that when Brian Fuller invented Star Trek Discovery and conceived it, he found a niche in the chronology that allows for another stream. Are we going to be dealing with a third universe?
I don't think so. I think by niche he means like.
I was thinking, no, niche wasn't it. Another stream
The stream is.
I think he means another stream of storytelling.
Okay.
That's how it sounds to me. Like a Section 31 niche or something like that.
Yeah. Which would be great. I mean, we've all been kind of hoping for a deeper set of storytelling in regards to any chronology, right?
Yeah, I that's what I think he means by another stream, another avenue of storytelling.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Star Trek archaeologists. Hey,
that's my
What's
gig.
wrong with you? No, that's Kayla's gig.
What was that?
That's not Kayla. That's Knafel's gig.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the big news that really did come out of this was that he did say, quote, "One thing that has nothing to do with Discovery is that I'm working on another Star Trek project, but I can't discuss that either." but he did let us know he's working on another Star Trek project. So whether that be a film, another television show, a television movie, a comic book, a documentary,
A novel. He's been known to write.
he does write. You know, you never know. You never know what that's going to be. But it does mean that it's more than a television show, that there's going to be a lot of Star Trek coming out, which is great.
A rich universe. That's what I love about this this franchise. It lives in a rich universe with so many possibilities, and I'm glad to see that that the possibilities are continuing on.
Yeah. The article at Trek Movie goes on to talk about the perceived delays in a fourth Star Trek film with Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine. They have not heard anything. You can tell that the actors are probably getting a little edgy on trying to determine whether or not they can take on other projects. That's what happens when you contract for one and say that you'll be available. You kind of lay out the priority, saying, when Star Trek's a go, you take priority.
go.
I have to leave the projects I'm on. It's really, yeah, it kind of sucks. So I don't know. Nobody's heard anything, and whether or not we're going to see a fourth film. Again, Paramount is in a pinch. You know, they're and I don't want to say in trouble, but they're not doing great. So they have to take their projects on
Didn't they
carefully.
didn't they replace someone in their organization? Not someone in charge of movies or something? I thought I saw an article not long ago that they did the truffle shuffle with some of their
Yeah,
upper management.
and that may have a lot to do with the delay. You know, they've got to talk about financing now and about how much cash they've got, how much they want to plunk down for certain films, what films are going to get greenlit, you know, all of that. And I do believe they have a new CEO, which doesn't surprise me, considering.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
So continuing on with television news, Chase Masterson.
Yes.
Did you see this?
About
Swear Trek?
Swear Trek, yeah. Explain to people what it is.
I have to open it. 1 second. So basically, this was in response to all of the hatred that came out.
Hold on. All of the hatred. It's a very small group.
It is
that
a small
these
group.
clickbait sites are making it seem like
It's
millions of people and giving them so much attention. It's go ahead.
I know, frustrating.
You are correct, but still, she still responds to I think Swear Trek is what started it. They had created a GIF. 1 second. Okay, so it looks like. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Michael Garcia's response in the chat room made me laugh.
That's awesome.
It started with I think a tweet from Chase that says, now can we have a GIF that says, because there are women and oh no POC in Trek, can you imagine? Please help the poor bro, he's dying. And then oh wait, no. I don't. Sorry, I'm just.
It's okay.
Discombobulated. Swear Trek had posted first. He had sent a message to Chase saying if he had cut together a bit where Lita can say this thing, say something, would she record voiceover for it? And she had agreed. and essentially what it was a scene of Lita and Rom kind of like staring toward the camera, and just kind of putting those people in place. It's just hilarious.
It
So
is a Tumblr page,
yes,
so you can follow Swear Trek on Tumblr, and it's pretty funny. Creates different memes, so to speak. My favorite one so far has been the, oh my god, his dick fell off because a woman wrote words on the internet.
yes.
So give them a follow. I think they're pretty funny. And yay for Chase for being such a good sport. There is also, I know lots of links today, but well, let's kind of touch on, well, while we're doing, why don't we just talk a little bit about some of the unofficial production stuff that we have.
Okay.
Speaking of,
Hey,
yeah,
we were supposed to have a script for one by the end of May. Has anybody heard about it?
I haven't seen it. Have you?
No. I wonder where the script is.
Huh? Oh, I know what you're referring to.
I mean, it was announced it would be done by the end of the month. Where's the script?
I don't care anymore.
No, I know you don't. And I can, and I know it frustrates you when we do talk about it. But and for our listeners, yeah, we're talking about
No,
Axanar.
don't say the
What?
word.
Oh,
Don't say the
we're not
word.
supposed to say the word now.
We're not going to
That's
say the
good.
word. We're going to say
Well,
radio edit.
Well, one of the things that did come out of the fan film community was this news about a Harry Potter film that got quote unquote okayed by Warner Brothers. There's a story behind this before everybody tries to say, "Oh, gee, well, look here, Warner Brothers is doing what CBS wouldn't." There's a bigger and much more clarified story with this Harry Potter gig, everybody. So let's touch on it real quick. First and foremost, there is a fan film called Voldemort: Origins of the Heir. This was a project, a unofficial project created by a bunch of Harry Potter fans to create a kind of an origins of Voldemort story. Not a lot of people liked the idea of it, but be that as it may, they went out and went to crowdfunding to get the funding to do this film. Now, first and foremost, it's very important to understand they asked for $30,000.
Below the Trek's guidelines.
$30,000. $30,000. And they got stopped. Warner Brothers put the kibosh on it and said, no, you can't do that. They held a meeting, a personal meeting with the producer and director, a la something else we know happened. And they had an adult conversation about not making any money off of the production. That's the meeting that happened with Warner Brothers. So they've come back out and they've announced they're going to finish their project for the $30,000, and they're not making any profit. They're not creating any studios, and they're not creating a business out of this. Warner Brothers is letting them go ahead with the expressed understanding that if you don't break that rule, that golden rule, you can have fun with the IP.
If they don't own their own studio, how can it happen?
Isn't that amazing? And they can do it on $30,000. Oh my God. So for those of you who are having a conniption fit because somehow you think Warner Brothers is doing something ultra cool, just remember and be aware. Warner Brothers isn't doing anything that CBS didn't do for Axanar.
Oh, you mean like when they said to him, as long as you don't make any money?
Yeah, and they took $1.4 fucking million.
See, it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, how do you how do you define making money?
And
He
Snowman
he
Frost, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
he
I'm sorry.
paid himself minimum wage, less than minimum wage.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers still didn't have to establish guideline rules. Why? Because they're listening to Warner Brothers and they're playing by their rules already, which is don't make any fucking money off the IP. Not the least of which is Warner Brothers only owns the rights to make the films.
Oh, JK owns the rights to
JK
everything.
owns no. They own the right to make and distribute the films. They don't own the right to the IP. JK could still totally put the kibosh on everything if she wanted to.
Rowling. Okay.
Right. She
I was
owns
thinking
the
Woodward.
IP.
Yeah, it's JK Woodward, Mike.
I was like, what? I'm confused.
Well, and so if you want to draw similes to this, that's what it is. You know, the fact of the matter is they called the people up. They had a professional meeting with them, discussed their concerns, and the producer and director understood the threat without the need for a C&D. Oh. Didn't need to be sued. Shocking.
So you're saying you get more with honey?
You get more with not even
Being
just
nice
honey,
and
but
respectful.
listening to and working with.
Not thinking that you're God's gift to the franchise.
Right.
It's not even listening to and all that. It's just respecting.
Thank you. It's a respect and understanding that you do not own the IP. So good on them. Hopefully JK is amenable and doesn't throw a hissy fit when things are done. But at the end of it, there's a lot of people who I know who are huge Harry Potter fans, and they're kind of like, meh, they're not very happy. They're not very happy with this fan film's story idea. They don't like the direction that it's kind of going in. Be that as it may, the fact of the matter is we're getting 5 films, the Fantastic Beasts films.
Are these people the keepers of the Harry Potter flame because they know better than anyone what Harry Potter is? Did their mother wake them up to watch the Harry Potter movies?
And that's the thing is that, again, it's a fan
Took them
production.
to midnight showings.
Yeah.
And the fans don't have to watch it, right? It's like, oh, it's just like how many let's face it, how many fanfics have you read where you kind of went, oh man, that's so bad?
I don't know, but Argumentative Andy's back at it. CBS rules involve much more than making money concerns. That's because somebody forced that on them.
Yeah, somebody. And you know what? I don't think the guidelines are all that oppressive. I think they're pretty damn nice. $50,000? That's a fucking lot of money to be able to raise to make a fan film. That's pretty damn good.
But it's only 15 minutes.
No, it's just people are upset because it's like, oh, what do you mean I can't put,
$50K for 15 minutes? That's holy shit.
But you can't make a movie in 15 minutes.
Well, that's because you're not supposed to be making movies. Sorry. You're supposed to be telling a good little story.
But then you can't cover yourself in glory basing it on a fictional character and make the world think that you're the most awesome person in the world ever. That Jesus ain't got nothing on you.
Oh, well, I refuse.
That Gandhi looks at you and goes, I wish I could be like him.
So I remember talking to a guy last year at STLV who was making claims about radio edit. Yeah. Yeah, well, It's a
Radio edit's gonna catch on.
uh, so I'm happy for the people who donated, who wanted to see a small project getting done, telling a story about a character that they find interesting and intriguing.
Do
And
not
the
be
good news
surprised that I
is,
did an accent.
my name is Mahatma Gandhi.
Michael Garcia, step away from the self-serve squishy. I'm making a mockery of it.
Mahatma Gumbo, that was it. Mahatma Gumbo,
You know,
the Swami of Cajun, the Cajun Swami.
let me ask you a
Sorry.
question,
What's
because
that?
like I'm this way with Star Trek the Motion Picture, but there's other movies that I feel the same way about. Like as a kid, of course, I liked Star Trek the Motion Picture, but like we've talked about, that's because it was Star Trek on the big screen. But as I've gotten older, I've come to really, really admire, no matter what Keith DeCandido says, admire that movie a whole lot more. Oh, did you read his review of it for his the thing he
Of which
does
film?
on
Of
tour?
Wrath?
No, the motion picture.
Oh, no, I didn't.
He calls the flyby scene ship porn and all this stuff. And I'm enjoying watching Christopher L. Bennett go back and forth with people because Christopher L. Bennett loves the movie. And I'm with you on this one, Christopher L. Bennett, not that you care. But like as a kid, Gandhi, I was like, ugh. As an adult, Gandhi, oh.
Yeah.
Are there any movies for you like that? And by the way, Terry, the other day I watched Them.
Oh, wow, there's a
I
classic.
love that movie so much.
You mean movies that I like now that I'm older that I didn't when I was young? Or
Yeah,
vice
like
versa?
Gandhi as a kid, Gandhi was just so boring.
Oh, yeah, because
As
it
an
was all
adult, it's
adult
like this
talking.
fucking movie is awesome.
Um, I I don't know. I'd have to think about it for a little bit. Um, Alan and I were watching a film this week, and I want to say, you know, uh, we were actually watching Star Trek, the 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 show, and there was no, what was it? It was, oh my God. Oh, it was Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, we got a squirrel here. We got a squirrel under the desk.
And
I love that movie is so phenomenally fantastic.
and here's the thing. There's
Don't-
not one note of music.
Nope, the only music in it is the Elton John song in the beginning.
Yep.
WNEW plays all the hits. Don't see, now you've got me going on this movie.
It
Sal,
was
Sal, where do you want to go?
so yeah,
What
we
country
were
do you
we
wanna
were
go
watching
to?
that, and we were talking about how that movie would never be able to be made
Oh, no.
today because people wouldn't find it action packed enough. And it's all talking heads, it's all drama. There are very long, quiet scenes
Oh, the whole scene about why
where
do you smoke?
and
It's
it's
a good time.
looking and allows actors to act and actually absorb whatever it is that they're talking about, and the camera picks it up. It's People would find that movie very boring right now, I think.
Well, look at the scene where they go outside, and he takes the woman with him so that she can say, that they're doing fine. And as they're going back inside, Charles Durning takes her arm like she's gonna go, and the look she gives him, it's a great acting moment. And she goes, "What are you doing? Get your hand off me." It is such a great. Oh, and Charles Durning in that. But you got to admit, Terry, Chris Sarandon is just fucking brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard him. He's a crazy man. You just can't talk to him. Up
It
is
was
down
it's
is. It
it's
was
such
just
it's
everything.
just such a powerful film without the need for music or a whole lot of action
Or gunfights.
or gunfighting or
double
explosions
crosses.
or whatever. I mean, it's an extraordinarily powerfully quiet film where the actors do all of the work.
To me, and I mean this, I personally think it's Al Pacino's best acting.
The very end gets you. I mean, as
Oh,
much
the
as
look on his face.
but it's so funny. It's so funny. As I was telling Ellen, I said, it you know what the character's going through, but I don't feel an ounce of pity for him.
I felt sorry for him through the whole movie.
Did you? I at the very end, I was angry at him. I was pissed. I was angry at him, going, talk about the ultimate. You brought this on yourself. It was, oh, I don't feel any pity. I just felt, but it was so good. It
First
was
of
so
all,
good. Yeah.
if you were married to that woman he was married to, wouldn't you go nuts too?
Again,
And I held
could have
myself. I
done
said, "Oh my
something
God, it
different.
can't be him. He's been acting so weird." Oh man, she just wanna.
Well, again, that kind of goes to the same thing about the motion picture. It's a quieter film.
Yes.
It allows the actors to chew on the words of what the writer wrote to 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 act out what it is that they see, which is amazing, right? They're supposed
And
to be seeing
it's
something truly
also
remarkable.
the last. It's among. I might even say it's the last of those epic thought science fiction movies, like with 2001 and what's the one with Bruce Dern? Where they're on the ship with the plants. Silent Running. Silent
Oh
Running.
God, that movie. I
Yeah.
watched once when I was 7. I will never watch it again.
All
It
these
destroyed
movies
me.
that were, yeah, Silent Running, but heady, dealing with. Was the motion picture flawless? Of course not. There were plenty of flaws, starting with the costuming. But there's also great character moments in that.
Yeah, I agree. Filmmaking was so different in the 70s. It was all about character. It was all about drama, and drama was heavy, and it was full of full-faced figures in the, frame filling full faces.
Well, people don't realize that the director of that, Robert Wise, what a career Robert Wise had. I mean, just IMDb Robert Wise, the director, and look at some of his credits. I'm sure that hey, Matthew Anderson's not here.
I think he did tell us he wouldn't be able to be here this week.
No, that's unacceptable. But yeah, but it's I mean, and it was a heady concept. Now that story's been done a billion times, and Keith DeCanado argues it's no different from The Changeling, which I would argue, the Star Trek episode, The Changeling, which I would argue, no, it is different, although it's very similar. But, um, and one of the things that's often overlooked by people in that movie is, I'm going to say it, Kirk's a dick.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy that he handpicked to be captain of the Enterprise, he still doesn't trust. Only he can do this.
Yeah. It's very true. It's very, very true. So
But there's just
Only
some,
Nixon can go to China.
yeah, 6 movies later. But yeah, there's some really big, now people also forget that movie was hampered because Paramount set a set in stone release date. And that movie was still being put together when it was being shipped to the theater. It literally went wet in the cans, which means they had had time to dry the film from the emulsion that they used to process the cans. So that's why the director's edition is better, because he got to do some things with it that he wanted to do for the theater that
You got to
didn't get a
finish the
chance to
movie.
do. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I like, the motion picture is a product of its time,
Very much.
and and yes, it was also fan service in a lot of ways, because that's exactly who they were playing to. at the time because, let's face it, how long was it? It was 20 some odd years between the end of Star Trek, the original series, and the film.
68 and 79, so 10 years. And Michael Garcia, that is kind of that has never been proven. That was in the novelization, but that was never said on screen. In fact, if you notice, it's not someone wearing command uniform on the screen. There's this whole side argument that people have about the woman killed in the transporter accident, that it was Kirk's ex who got him to take his star, and of course she was killed. That's never been said. The only person they said that was killed was the science officer.
And this is all just kind of off the script supposition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then bullshit.
Yes,
it doesn't matter what they say. It's just not.
It doesn't matter about the novelization. It's not canon. That's right. I said it.
He said that to tick somebody off. That's all.
Yeah.
That was
Robert Reyes. That was
a
woman.
woman.
Yes, it was.
Not anymore.
That is a horrific scene.
Yeah.
Transporter accident.
Yeah. It kind of was, but at the same time, is it any different than
No, but for a kid in 1979, just thinking of, and that's a beautiful thing about not seeing it. We can only fill it in our head what a transporter accident did to them.
Yeah.
Which is probably far worse than anything they could show us on the screen. Except for Galaxy Quest, the greatest transporter accident in history.
And what was it? What's the scene in Mystery Men? In Mystery Men when they kill Captain Amazing. Oh my god. I laugh so hard and it's so horrible. Okay.
Yes,
So-
Mike, but we kept it Star Trek.
Okay.
It was all we did. And we
Well,
talked about the
now
motion
I'm
picture
responding
and
to messages Mike is sending us through the producer channel.
well, I had while I was getting water, I thought about the initial question, which was movies that we appreciate more now than we did when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have to keep in mind, I was watching some of these movies on like Saturday afternoon,
Okay, yeah.
creature feature matinee type things on television. So it was like not even the full film. It was edited for television. But Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, and Motion Picture. Those three I appreciate a lot more now than I did back then.
I'm very interested. What is it about Aliens that didn't resonate with you then that does now?
Well, back then it was just a monster movie, and now the alien creature is a lot more fascinating than just a monster movie, and that could be also due in part to the expanded story that has been released since then as well. But
You mean the director's cut?
well, that and some of the other films that have come out that have expanded on the universe.
I think one thing with that film, the director's cut, where he puts back in the scene where she sees the picture of her daughter who just died, like just a year or two before Ripley is found. It makes the Ripley Newt storyline take on a whole new dynamic. That she never got to see her daughter, and her daughter Newt is about the same age as her daughter was when Ripley was gone. She's like 9 or 10. So I think it takes on a whole different. I think it adds a whole lot. What was the other one? Aliens.
It was
And
Aliens.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes
Oh yeah,
Back.
talk to me about that.
For me, the scene on Hoth when they were like underground, that was hard to watch for me. I didn't quite get it, I guess. I mean, to me, a lot of the pacing of the film just seemed, um, for 5 6 year old me, it was just slow and it was just difficult to watch most of it. I mean, I would watch it every time it was on. The same thing with Aliens and the motion picture, because but even back then I loved sci-fi. But yeah, those it was just kind of slow, and yeah, it was just.
God, it makes my head hurt when he said 5 6 year old him for Empire Strikes Back.
Well, this was also when it was broadcasting
Oh, okay.
on television. Or I think I don't know how old I was. When did Empire come out?
80.
80. Oh, so when it came out, I was already 4 or 5, so I would have been 8 or
Just
9 or
be
10
quiet. Just be quiet.
when it was on television.
Oh, that's too great.
Steve, were you
Sorry.
even born when it came out?
Was it after August? Because I was born
Oh,
August
still.
1980.
No, it was a
Oh
summer
my
film, wasn't it,
God.
Terry?
What was that? I'm
It was
just
a- it
realizing
was-
you were born in 1980.
Yeah, so I was being
my
born
God.
around the time it came out.
You were born in August?
Yep.
Terry, the hostages were still being held in Iran when
I
Steve was born.
know. Okay.
Terry, the Olympics in Moscow were going on. Just a wee tot. Christ, it makes my ball hair hurt.
35 years old of Wrath of Khan. Okay.
So yeah, those were the films that I had that I appreciated much more now than I did when I was younger. But I did like them, and I watched them whenever they were on. But it was
The one movie
they were
that did
hard to watch.
the one movie that I have to say, remember and you've heard me say it time and time again since I've started the show, is Undiscovered Country keeps going up and up and up on my list.
Yep.
With the exception of the tableau shot, which I know was done because it was the quote unquote the last film. Everything in that movie resonates more with me as an adult than it did when I was young.
Here's one for you with Trek. Is there a movie that you used to hold really highly in Trek that as the years have gone on, you go, not so much anymore?
I have to say it. First Contact.
Really?
It's and the reason just is because it's a product of its time. It was amazing when it came out, and now I look at it and I think, oh my God, the effects are so simple, right?
I don't know.
The whole and it's just, you're gonna laugh. It's just the Borg scenes. The Borg scenes bother me now when they didn't used to, and that bugs me because I love First Contact.
Did Voyager have anything to do with that?
I don't know if
That's a great question, Mike.
it might have something to do with
The
it.
neutering done in
No, I think it's more, it has everything to do with the actual pure visual effect of it. It's the slow moving Borg through smoke machine and laser beam scenes.
Oh, when they open the door. Yeah,
Yeah.
that scene always felt incredibly odd to me.
It was just it just sits weird with me, and it really is just that
you know
one
what it
thing.
looked like to me? A scene they shot for the trailer that somehow made its way into the film.
Yeah.
You're right. That
and
scene
Sun, yeah, you are.
always bugged me. Now, Sun brings up a good one. Is she allowed to say "Search for Spock"?
Absolutely.
Search for Spock has not aged as well. I may offend some people by saying this. I don't think the Voyage Home has aged all that well. In 1986, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
but it was very much of 1986.
Yep, I agree with that
The
too.
Search for Spock was another one that I saw like in the same time frame, a time slot as Aliens and Empire. And so it was another one that I saw many times, and I appreciated it more now than I did back then. But I don't know if
I
But
would have to say that I give 5 more credit now than I used to. I used to hate it. Now I'm like, it's not so bad.
if I almost look at 5 as a Star Trek comedy. Um, but one thing about 5 that I've always loved was Luckenbill as Cybok. I always just was blown away by that, by how good he was. But the voyage home, I mean, I think it became such a people that weren't alive or were young like Steve or Mike or Son, who don't remember or didn't see the voyage home, um, don't get what a huge hit that movie was. That crossed over in a major
Voyage
way.
Home?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it appealed to the non-Trek fan.
because it was set in Earth at the present time.
Right.
And there was a lot of humor in it and everything.
Oh, I laughed my ass off.
But you go back and watch it now, and it's like, oh, that's quaint.
Yeah. Well, Alan and I last night we watched. God, it was even on a non-commercial site. I think it was on TCM.
I love TCM.
Clash of the Titans.
Oh, that is such a great movie. I'm sorry, anything with Ray Harryhausen, I love.
But again, Harryhausen. And I realized last night, holy shit, this movie came out in 1980.
And it sucks,
And
but it's great.
it's great in its suckness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's got everybody fucking in it, right? It had Laurence Olivier and Maggie Smith and Harry Hamlin, right? The
Studley Harry Hamlin, pre-LA Law.
The Studley Harry Hamlin of LA Law. But what's so funny is that the next time you watch it, I know you're going to hate me for this. And I know you will watch it again because it's Clash of the Titans. Is his tan, his spray-on tan, is never the same level from scene to scene.
What are you doing to me? You know what, though? I saw it, I think, last year. The Medusa scene still holds up really well.
I was watching it last night. It's still fucking creepy.
Yeah. But you're right. That movie is very much...
It's great.
Let's see. The Klingon ship interior takes me out of Search for Spock. There's continuity between the motion picture and the voyage home. Not sure where they went. It feels dated.
Yeah, I can see that. The thing that always bothered me about the Klingon Bird of Prey was its scale, its sliding scale.
Oh my God. In the voyage home, it's as big as the Enterprise.
But only on the inside.
No.
It's like the fucking TARDIS.
Look at the scene where they're nose to nose. It's as big as the Enterprise.
Right, but when it's on the ground, it's like tiny.
Yeah. It's
and
like
then it has 2 fucking whales in it.
It's like a private jet size.
That's what bothers me the most about that ship. Is just that it's really little on the ground and really big in space. It's a fucking TARDIS.
It's pliable. Mike, how about for you? Any
they use
Star
the
Trek
slide
film?
they use the slide rule to
Yeah, there you go. Mike, how about for you a film that doesn't hold up the way when you first saw it?
I'm thinking.
Secret replaced Mike's coffee with Folgers crystals. Let's see if he notices the difference.
You have to keep in mind most of these films came out when I was very young, and so my appreciation for them has increased generally overall. Um, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they're talking about the Klingon bird of prey looks more Romulan than Klingon. Well, that's because originally in the script for 3, it was the Romulans. And then they changed it to the Klingons. And once again, the Romulans got treated like Ginger Lynn.
Yeah, well. Oh, the
Terry, I made a Ginger Lynn reference on the show.
I don't even know what that means. Why
You
did
know who Ginger Lynn is? The porn star?
I may. I don't remember right now.
If I had said Marilyn, it got the Romulans got the Marilyn Chambers secret, is that more?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
If I'd have to choose something, it'd probably be a toss up between Generations or Nemesis. I think I liked them a lot more when they first came out.
Okay.
Just because they were Generations, because it was, Kirk and Spock and Picard and Riker and, Data.
Spock.
Huh?
Spock.
Oh, I know.
Spock?
Oh, you know what I meant. It was
Yeah.
It was that era meeting the other era.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have got to see Alan Ruck as the captain of the Enterprise B.
I love Harriman. Shush.
What do you love about him? That he's really that it's Cameron in space? Is that
Yeah,
what-
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of which, did you see that they finally plugged him into a Domino's ad?
Yes, where he's driving the car.
Yeah.
Yes. My wife hates those ads.
I know, because it.
I thought it was amusing.
I think it's cute. Mike, do you know what we're talking about? The kind of take on Ferris Bueller Domino ads.
No.
There's a set of Domino's pizza ads where there's a kid kind of redoing the scenes, the very last kind of run home scenes from Ferris Bueller. And he's kind of jumping through the yards just to get
they're
home in time.
recreating it shot for shot.
Right. And it's almost I mean it really is identical to the film. And I think part of me wants to believe that they kind of had to add Ruck to the ads because some people weren't grasping the Ferris Bueller of it enough.
You think so?
I don't know. I just
Because I
know
think
that last night I
still
saw
has as
Ruck
big an audience.
driving through and I busted out laughing. I thought it was great.
I think that movie has spanned time because I know teenagers today that love that movie.
Yeah, I mean he's a freaking hero, let's face it.
He really is a dick, is what he is.
Yeah, he is. He's a
Why
jack.
is the principal who's trying to maintain the rules the bad guy in that film?
He's just a perennial victim. Although my favorite scene will always be him sitting next to the little girl with the gummy bears in her pocket.
Oh, they're soft. They were in my pocket all day. And
Okay.
Rooney!
Oh, so Mike, I love your points on this. The Nemesis. Nemesis
Would have been
it
good
just-
if it had a director.
It just fucking pisses me off every time. Just every time I see it, it makes me angry.
Nemesis, I was very happy to see because it was the new Trek movie, and the loss of Data was shocking and sad, and but after watching it again later on, I started seeing a lot of the flaws, a lot of the problems, so things started sticking out.
Yeah.
So that's my reasoning with Nemesis. But when it first came out, I mean, I was excited for it. I loved it. I didn't understand why people didn't like it, and subsequent viewings I figured it out. But initially I didn't get it, and like I said, with Generations, it was a lot of the same thing. I mean, here was, you know, the both Star Treks coming together, and the baton pass, so to speak, and I wasn't paying that close attention to the story or what was really going on, and I was just more excited that there was a new Trek movie.
You know the scene in Generations that bugs me the most, but there's no way you could take it out, and I would never want them to take it out, but it still bugs me the most, is
Hmm.
the Christmas party.
Yeah, I was thinking the Christmas party.
But you have to have that scene because that's where it kind of crystallizes.
That's where
for-
Picard figures out what's really going on.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a headbanging scene for me in a big way. I mean, it's like,
What would you do to fix it, though?
change the time period. Why does it have to be Victorian England or Edwardian England? He never.
Well, Picard
What
loves
the
Shakespeare
fuck?
because Picard loves Shakespeare and all of
Yeah,
that.
but
And
see,
isn't
that's the thing is,
the Nexus supposed to take you to kind of your idea of heaven?
and yes and no. Kirk just wanted to live in his now with his
With a
love.
woman he loves, yeah.
And I would see Picard kind of doing the same thing, which is being Robert, having a family, being
Right.
the winemaker. But you don't have to throw it back for him 500 years.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. To me, that would have been the first thing that Picard would have saw right through.
But I always thought that the Nexus, because it was such a great feeling, like almost like the high of heroin that people get before they start vomiting. But that feeling of euphoria is so overwhelming that they don't see it. That's the feeling I got.
For me, who is that woman? I mean, that was the question. It was like, who is that woman? I mean, it was like, if it was Vosh or if it was Beverly, which in light of the novels
would have
later on,
been
that made me
game-changing.
laugh.
I think that would have been awesome if they had made it Beverly.
I think so too. I mean, but they just inserted some strange woman that we knew absolutely nothing about, that he had no connection to, that we knew of.
But again, it's the ideal.
I would
See,
have
that's the thing.
I
It's
would
the
have
ideal.
rewritten. Yeah, I would have written the scene as him kind of, instead of waking up in the living room of Christmas, I would have seen him kind of waking up
In a vineyard.
and in the vineyard and pulling on the grapes and tasting them, just like Robert did in Family, and kind of looking at him and saying, okay, these are good or whatever, and then having children run up to him saying,
I was gonna say,
"Papa,
you could
Papa,"
still have the kids
and
come
still
running
have
up
the kids and say, Mama,
It's Christmas
dinner's
dinner.
ready,
Yeah.
dinner's ready, and
And
have him just
Beverly at the back
at the door or something. Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
I would have believed as a fan and as a Picard, he would have fallen into that a little more deeply, I think, and then have
doubt,
it.
yeah.
It didn't have to be a Christmas ornament, but it could have been.
The whole Christmas thing was because of the time of year.
And they really
released.
wanted to pull. Yeah, it was poorly placed. I think it would have been more interesting had it been he retired, or like he was just living his life happily on Earth, and picking up the reins for Robert.
Well, hold on, Terry. I'm just thinking about Generations now, and I don't mean this as a dig. I haven't thought about it probably since the last time we did an in-depth thing on it. But the loss of Robert and what's the kid's name? Oh my God,
Renee,
thank you.
and having Renee in that scene also just kind of,
But
was
the
I
loss
think
of
one of the
them
moments that he realized it was fake.
coming so soon after the loss of them, do you think that's why they went with like the
I don't.
The
I liked. I
Victorian
kind of liked
type.
the idea of Renee. I did
Because
because
he loved
his
that
joy
boy.
in seeing him
Yeah.
was pure,
And how
and I
much
think
Renee
it would have
was
been
like
cool to
him.
see him back at the thing. Yeah, I actually think it would have been cool to see him or see Robert.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. Robert or Robert walks up to him in the vineyard.
In the vineyard, and the two of them actually
Oh, a
discuss.
reversal of family,
Yeah,
where
kind of turning
he's the
family on its
one,
head. Like,
and then,
I never left home. That
Yeah.
I never left. I never left. And then and do something, and to get the spark, like you see in the ornament of the tree. Um, and this is gonna sound really kind of silly, but it could have been something as simple as, if you've ever been through a vineyard, they tie these flashy, almost
Hmm.
aluminum strips to
Yeah.
keep birds away. Something like that flashing in the sun would have been just as powerful.
Son says it would happen because it's his childhood house, was it not? Was that his childhood house? I never got that, but I could be way off on that.
It could have been. I mean, there was a lot of leaded glass.
Because I thought he grew up in the house that Robert was living in.
He
yeah,
did.
that is the family home.
Yeah, and it's kind of Tudor, and and you know, and it is semi-modern, but then again,
Yeah.
she never used she never got a replicator, remember?
Right.
But
I loved
so
her.
I just I don't know. It's funny. I didn't assume that the house was in Generations, that the house was supposed to be the
Yeah,
vineyard home.
I never got that feel because it was so
It
So
looked,
different.
yeah,
So
big.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Victorian mansion. Is the
Well,
feel I
It was
got.
definitely
granted, we
Tudor.
only saw what, 1.5 rooms, the room with the
True.
tree, and then the dining
Yeah.
room just off of it, which
It-
we
it-
had seen
it was-
different rooms in
It
the.
could have been the same scene. Oh my god, but change the fucking costumes. Get them out of the fucking Edwardian
Exactly.
costume shop of whatever came out of, Paramount's
They
costumery,
were the set of
and put
Oliver.
them into modern gear, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I think a more modern take on the on just addressing the entire scene a little bit more modern would have helped a lot. But I also think that
I was just waiting for Tiny Tim to come out.
Yeah.
God bless us,
Now,
everyone.
having said that, I think the Kirk version of the Nexus was spot on.
Oh, totally agreed.
Yeah, that was based on what we had seen in the previous movies with him going camping with the boys, and I mean, yeah, I can totally see him, having his own cabin in the
And
woods,
even though
and
it was never stated,
that
I
being
could
his
see,
home away from home.
even though it had never been stated before, I could see Kirk loving cooking.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that and I want to know more about her.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it wasn't Carol Marcus. We know that.
No, it was Antonia.
Antonia.
Yeah, I got it. I think now, of course, this is just speculation, but I have a feeling this is someone that he probably would have met during the time that he was an admiral, when he was promoted as admiral.
Well, it was his ideal. So kind of like what happened to Riker on the holodeck with
Well,
Minuet.
he tells him. He tells Picard, "I met her.
That's right.
I
Horseback
met
riding.
her when I was living on Earth, and
Which
this
would have
was the
been-
morning I was going to tell her I was
That he
going
was going
back
back
to
to
the
Starfleet.
Enterprise. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
So-
changing this. I'm going to stay home with her."
So that would have
Yeah.
been
So that
the
would have
motion
been
picture.
pre-motion
Yes.
picture. Yeah.
oh,
It
what a
was-
fun
it
little
was
discussion.
Yeah, it was
Steve,
fun.
do you have any input on this?
For me, sort of the same as you guys, Generations, especially with the bit where Picard enters the Nexus, that bit always seemed a bit strange for me. But one of the ones which I never feel sort of gets dated is First Contact. That's my favourite TNG movie.
The Nexus scene with Guinan, when he Picard goes to see Guinan. Did that feel unusual to anyone?
I never understood the echo thing, and I still don't.
That means that there's still a piece of Picard and Kirk in the Nexus?
Yeah, but then where are they?
Right.
Where are if they're in echo?
Right.
Then where are they?
I
Are they in
think
another dimension?
Or rolled up in the dimension of the the Nexus being its own dimension.
or
Well, then
they
what about
never
those
left.
ships?
Or
What
they
about
never
those ships that were destroyed by the Nexus wave? Did all those people wind up in the Nexus, or were they killed? Why
well
is
when
it
the
killing
ship
some?
blew up,
Well,
they
why is
died
it
when the
killing
ship
some
blew
and
up.
not all?
See, and now you find out that everything that happened after Generations was all just a fucking dream.
They never left the
I
Nexus.
swear to God, if Patrick Duffy
Right.
gets out of the shower, I'm killing somebody.
They never left the Nexus. Everything that we know that came after First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis. Oh, maybe Nemesis wouldn't be a bad thing.
Nemesis
Was-
didn't happen. Woohoo!
All of it was just. a
But the planet
dream.
blew up. But then it didn't.
Did it?
I know. This is what happens when you write mystery for mystery's sake instead of just
A fracture.
whatever.
It's a like a fractured universe. It's like you go into it, and it's almost like thought is the only thing that really exists. But everything.
You know what would have saved the Nexus?
I don't know.
You know what would have saved the idea of the Nexus? And I'm not making a joke. It was something that the Q did.
You know what would be even more amazing? Is if the Nexus was actually something that Q created by accident. Like their big
Again.
mistake. Right?
Again.
Their big mistake. It's like,
Welcome
yeah.
to the continuum.
But
It's
not
a
Q.
continuum fart.
But not Q. But Q. Little Q.
Yeah.
He was playing around with something.
You mean Trelane?
No, his son from How Many Times
Q
Have I
Jr.
Told
that
You?
Q.
Don't provoke the Borg.
That Q, yes.
Oh my gosh.
The Nexus was made by
Google.
Google.
So before we do have a few minutes left, I do want to touch on a couple of other things. First and foremost, some news that came out this week about HTC Vive, the VR, the virtual reality gear that you can purchase to play virtual reality games. These are the higher end ones, not the ones that you get at your cell phone store. HTV Vive has now announced that Star Trek Bridge Crew, the hotly anticipated game at the end of the month, will actually be included when you buy the HTC Vive system.
Oh, nice.
So for $799, you can get the HTC Vive system, and it will come with Star Trek Bridge Crew while supplies last.
Eventually, after I upgrade my computer, that's on my to-do list. I'm thinking about getting an Oculus. They're not that expensive, so not as expensive as the Vive.
Yeah, the
Anyways,
Vive, that's $800. That's kind
Yeah.
of pricey. What's the Sony one going for? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I saw one over at GameStop though this week, but I do not know how much it costs.
Then, of course, we do have a big announcement for those of you who are going to be attending Shore Leave in Hunt Valley,
Woohoo!
Maryland. They have their guest list out, and big supporters of Shore Leave. Nick, you're going, right?
Yes.
Very cool. This year's celebrity guest list features Marina Sirtis and Michael Dorn, as well as Kevin Sussman from The Big Bang Theory, Michael Hogan from Battlestar Galactica, Luciana Carro from Battlestar Galactica and Caprica, Jodelle Ferland from Dark Matter, Mark Ben David from Dark Matter, Bitten, and Degrassi: The Next Generation. Wow, that's pulling something out. Mike DePude from Stargate 1. And I please forgive me if I pronounced his name right or incorrectly. But lots and lots of authors, as always. And I'm really excited.
Amy Immerhoff will be on 6 panels.
Yay! We love Amy Imhoff.
I think they should have Starfleet Mom fly out and do the Moogie panel.
Yeah, I know. Dayton Ward will be there, of course.
Kevin, David Mack, Keith DeCanado, Chris Bennett, Greg Cox. I mean,
Kelly Medding, Melissa Scott, Hildy Silverman, Scott Pearson.
Not sure if the lovely Ms. Byer will be there. I don't think so.
She's not listed.
Okay.
However,
she will be missed.
She will be missed. But I am excited because Derek Tyler Attica will be there. Who, who, of course, won the most recent incarnation of Strange New Worlds. And he was a panelist at Star Trek Mission New York, Star Trek Mission New York. So I'm hoping that Nick, if you can, will you do me a favor and sit down and have a nice conversation with Mr. Attica? That would be great.
All right. So I can't mock his name.
I'm sorry?
I can't mock his name.
I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. I don't want to piss him off.
I know, but Attica.
I know.
Attica.
I bet he gets that a lot.
I know. Well, I don't know, Terry. How many people? If I made well, I have a reference that I'm holding on to for when this show presents itself for it, but I don't even think you'll get it, even though the movie was amazing and huge. Here, let me put in our private chat what the
about Dog Day Afternoon?
No.
Or what? All right.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was that one. I forgot entirely.
Yeah,
there's a couple things I want to touch on really quick.
Attica was in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Hidden Universe Travel Guides. The Vulcan Travel Guide is now available on ebook. This is like a huge deal. I'm excited for this, and that the Klingon book will be made available in ebook when it gets released. So that's exciting. Did you guys check out get assimilated with the Star Trek Adventures RPG Borg Cube set?
Oh my god, isn't that amazing?
Oh my god, that's awesome. I want it.
The RPG set for Star Trek Adventures, you guys, have been just freaking amazing. We've talked to you about the dice sets already. We've talked to you about the miniatures that they're coming out with. But they have this whole kind of all-encompassing GM/DM kit. Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
It even comes with Klingons and Romulans, which wasn't discussed earlier. So that's a bit of new news there. And then let's see what else. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Let me take a quick look. Oh, free RPG day. Your local comic book stores may be participating, so check with them. But Saturday, June 17th is free RPG day, and some of the sponsors, looks like, from what it looks like, there's like they're going to be giving away a box filled with stuff from a whole bunch of different vendors, if I'm not mistaken. So check it out, grab some stuff.
Hey, I have a question for you guys. And for anybody in the chat room,
I do have one more, but I want to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to finish with it because it's kind of a.
Hey, if you've forgotten one of your Twitter passwords, how do you recover what it was?
Isn't there a forgot password button?
Yeah, but I don't want to change it. They can send it to you by email?
No, you need to change it, but it will send you the link to your email.
Steve, this is in reference to what you asked me last week.
One more thing before Mike, I know that you wanted to finish off, so you keep that one handy.
Yep. Go ahead.
The summer event in Star Trek Online is coming up. You'll be beginning June 8th, which is Thursday, it looks like.
Yes.
through July 20th. You can get back to the Lolunat Festival on Ryza and participate in all of your favorite summer game activities. And
There's one activity they don't have on Ryza that totally contradicts what Ryza should have.
Jamaharon.
Hmm.
You'll also notice that the dates for the summer event are the same for consoles and PC, although the prize ship is last year's ship for the
On
console.
console?
For the
Oh,
console.
interesting.
Okay.
Oh, son, that's horrible.
Oh no, I'm afraid to look.
Mike
One
wanting to
last
finish
thing.
off proof nice guys finish last.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Wow. And there's a visual I'll never unsee.
All right. So
Oh.
the final thing I want to touch on is from technology news, and Nvidia they're showing off their Project Holodeck VR system once again, and this time they added something that's kind of frightening. They want to use Project VR to train AI and robots. Singularity is here, people. Robots are going to be training in virtual reality now.
Remember when Skynet was such a fantasy?
Yeah. I knew something was up this week because I was actually watching MSNBC to kind of catch up on the financial info, right? The business info. And what's his loudmouth? Jim, what's his name?
Kramer?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, is that the guy that hits things? He looks
Yeah.
like Louis C.K.
During his I guess he had like an individual show. He does that, but this is during the panel, the morning
okay,
bell
yeah.
show, where he's not quite as obnoxious as
But he still looks like Louis C.K.
Yeah, he does in a big way. He was talking this week a lot about announcements that came out for virtual reality and AI movement, and he's talking a lot about Nvidia and the AI move that they've done, and he made mention this week about the movement forward and in artificial intelligence and how cool and yet frightening it all kind of was.
Yeah, that's true. Hey Terry,
I mean-
speaking of which, did your Disney stocks take a hit because of the flop that is Pirates?
Oh no, Disney is only taking hits because of ESPN right now. Mike, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I saw Pirates this week.
Oh,
That's
did
so
you?
bad. Oh, I
Is it as
actually
bad as the
liked
critics say?
I liked it. It was fun. I was laughing. I was like, "Whoa, this is cool."
So then I don't get why I've heard more than one person say that, but yet
It was
I've seen
fun.
nothing
It
but
was.
savaging of it.
Oh, I'm sure, but I mean, uh, they always have this scene that is, they're so larger than life, so far fetched, out of unbelievable, and yeah, they had a couple of them like that. There was the bank scene.
Okay,
And then the guillotine scene. I mean, that one, those two had me in stitches.
now a
Oh, man.
little honesty here from me. I've only ever seen the first one. Never
they're-
saw any of the others.
Do yourself a favor when they're on TV, watch them, and they're not bad. They're fun. They're just fun
They're
popcorn
fun
films.
movies.
Well, and that's where
Yeah.
critics bug me. It's like everybody wants something to be this amazing piece of social commentary and art. You know what? What happened to movies being fun?
Exactly, especially these. These are Disney films that are supposed to be completely unbelievable anyway. You've got magic mixed
They're
with
based
pirates.
on a ride.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
whatever.
To me, nothing says people just want to have fun at the movies as well as see something. Yes, there's a place for because I know you guys follow my feed and I watch a documentary every night.
Right.
And there's so many shit documentaries out there when I'm going through. Okay, two thoughts. One, not another documentary about Hitler needs to be made. There's enough. Two, stop with alien conspiracy, Alien 51, lizard people documentaries. That's it. Okay, stop.
Those are
But,
their own shows.
I know. But,
Ugh.
nothing says people also want to go to the movies, just get lost in a stupid, and I'm not saying stupid as a pejorative. I mean stupid as in fun, like the Fast and the Furious movies. People just want to go and check out and enjoy something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. It's Bond, right? Bond films
Yeah.
are the same way,
Girls just want to go
or they
have
used
fun.
to be until they got all serious.
the Kevin Hart films. I love Kevin Hart. People can say what they want. I think he is hilarious. But everything doesn't have to be fucking Sophie's Choice.
Agreed.
And talk about a movie that hasn't aged well. Kramer versus Kramer is the most pretentious fucking movie. And Ordinary People beat Raging Bull. Really? Don't even get me started.
You're talking to somebody who still flips out over the fact that Terms of Endearment beat Big Chill.
I was not a fan of either film.
Oh my god, I loved Big
Of course you did. Bunch of yuppies dancing around, whining to each other.
Yeah. Spoke to me. Better than St. Elmo's fucking Fire.
I've never said I like that movie. Okay, Andy McDowell is in it. Enough said.
All right. Kind of getting back to what wrapping up the show, actually. Holy crap. Today went fast. Great conversations about, movies that change with you. Good luck coming up with a title on this one, Mike. Evolving Pictures. Ooh, I like that one. Any announcements before we head out?
On our website, we've got a press release for the Smithsonian and AwesomeCon. They introduced something called FutureCon, which is a science technology mini convention taking place within the larger AwesomeCon. So check out the press release.
Oh, that's
and also
cool.
the May new product news roundup is also on our site. So check that out see what kinds of cool new stuff came out this month, last month.
Cool. I also recommend that you head over to our friend DEFCON's blog, Treklit. He always keeps up to date on what's coming out with the Star Trek novels. And thank you for kind of keeping us to date on that. And Steve, anything?
Don't forget to sponsor me. And we've also got a message from Ross.
And next week,
Wait,
I will be at
Nick.
AwesomeCon.
Oh, cool.
And then in July is Shore Leave. And then in August, obviously I won't be going to STLV, but in September, get this, Terry. So I'm waiting for Wonder Woman, and you know how they show like local ads on your big theater screen, like for dentists and all that. Did not know that there is a Comic-Con in the town where I live. Now, is it a big one? No, it's not a big town, but there's some pretty good second, third tier people going to be there, but also a cosplayer who I've known from AwesomeCon and Philadelphia and all that. She's going to be there judging the costume contest. So I'm going to go to that because it's literally 5 miles from my house. And then I will be going let's see, that's September 9th and 10th, the following weekend to Salt Lake City Comic-Con.
Wow. Very, very cool. Busy
I'm
summer
very
for both
excited
of us.
about that. Elijah Dushku was just added to it.
Oh, very cool. Alan and I will be at STLV for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at least. And hopefully we'll get Mike out to something that might be in his neck of the woods here soon.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. We got a note from Ross, and I understand he might have been
drunk
a little bit.
Nice.
Hey guys, Ross here from Live Love Play with a slightly inebriated content update. You know what that means? Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nick, cue the clip. First off, I'd like
I
to thank
don't
all of
kill
my
them.
Patreon patrons for directly supporting my channel. Your patronage allows me to focus on creating more content for my site and my channel. Gods of Yukon, Episode 4, The Glowing Storm, is now live for the public, with Episode 5 coming soon, exclusively to Patreon. If you want to watch the show early, pledge $1 today. Patreon patrons also get early access to Getting Lost in Space, my retrospective series on Lost in Space, co-hosted by Mark Cushman. Episode 2 coming soon. I live stream 3 times a week on twitch.tv/subsailor688, Monday, Thursday at 3 p.m., and Saturday at 5. So come join me and enjoy the game and the company. I play something different each day, so expect a variety. In addition to my live broadcasts, you'll find my entire library of live stream highlights, as well as archived broadcasts and unique uploads. The archives don't stick around forever, so check them out before they're gone. This week on iLiveLovePlay.com, you'll find my review for Reservoir Dogs Bloody Days. Bloody Days is a top-down tactical shooter based on the classic Tarantino film. It allows you to control up to 3 characters in a heist simultaneously thanks to its revolutionary rewind feature. It is available now on Steam. If you want to see this game in action, visit my Twitch channel for the recorded launch day live stream. I repost my content all over Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, Patreon, Twitch, and VidMe now. So if you want to check me out, look me up and enjoy. Thank you for listening, and a special thank you to the host of the G&T show for your patronage and support. Yes, even you, Nick. This is Ross saying thanks again, and until next time, remember, say it with me now, to live, to love, and to play, every day. Bye.
Oh,
All
my
right,
God, that was
Steve.
too
Thank
Great
funny.
you,
timing,
Ross.
Steve.
That was awesome. Yay! Don't forget to live, to love, to play every day and support all our Busy Little Beaver productions. We do appreciate your listening all the time. Thank you so very much. We love our listeners. Please
Hey, is there
follow
a
us.
game this Tuesday? I'm so confused after what happened last week.
There is, but I just won't be able to be there because I'm like the fucking Ashley Johnson of RPG now. It's just fuck.
I'm not sure if it's Gods of Yukon or if it's Star Trek Adventures.
No, I'm talking about Star Trek Adventures.
It's Star Trek.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
Because,
I think.
before we missed last week, this week was supposed to be Gods of Yukon. Last week was Adventures, but Jim got sick. So, don't blame him.
Because she had a problem with his tushy is what happened.
Oh my God.
Poor guy.
He's been taking care of.
Something bit him, and
Oh.
he had something. He ate something he wasn't supposed to.
Oh my God, poor thing. Oh, Robert Reyes. Ashley Johnson is a fantastic actress and voiceover actress. And she's also in the show Blindside.
Mhm.
Okay, the one with Lady Sif, right?
Mhm.
So Ashley Johnson's in that show, but she's also in Critical Role. And so Ashley
I love
only gets
her.
to play Critical Role when she's not filming Blindside. So they kind of have to play her character for her from time to time. So yeah. All right. That kind of does it for this week. We do appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Please do share our posts. We would like to get our Facebook numbers up. We have great Twitter followers. You can follow us at Sunday GNT. On Twitter, you can follow me at Terry Lynn S. That's TerryLynnS. Mike, where can they follow you?
I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Ceridium STO on Twitter, SORIEDEM STO. Facebook finally fixed the typo in my name on Facebook, so yay. So SORIEDEM, something like that on Facebook.
And Nick.
At Gettysburg 7.
Sweet. Steve, where
Doing
can people
fine.
listen to you? Because this is not the only gig you have.
No. every week I do Tribbles and Ecstasy at Holosuite Media. I also help out with Priority One as well as the G&T show, and I'll have a new Babylon 5 podcast coming soon, and I've also got to get my Battlestar Galactica podcast back up and running as well soon.
He also helps with Gettysburg's Address. Did he say
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Cool.
Steve and I actually, it's funny, Steve and I actually work well together when he's not being Steve. Oh, I'm sorry. Should I not? That was wrong.
Bad boy.
I know, Steve. You know, Steve. We're in the 6th month, Steve.
You've done well.
By December 31st, I will be scratching my own skin off.
Seeing as though we are, God, I can't believe it. Next week, please join us for episode 282 on that. And by the way, today's June 4th for Michael Hinman. Whatever. And
2
next week will
days.
be June 11th. We're already getting to be halfway through the month of June.
Think about this.
What?
In 2 days, it's the 73rd anniversary of D-Day.
You know, it's always hard to fathom. And the one thing that every generation goes through is their personal relationships to time, right? And the older you get, the more you understand how time really is very fleeting. And when you're young, it lasts forever, right? So the idea that I was born less than 20 years after the end of World War II.
Yeah.
It kind of blows my mind. And to think that there's a lot of shit that I've lived through so far.
And 60 years since Korea.
Yeah.
60-some years.
Yeah. My dad served during the Korean War. Well, it's weird. Not to like end on that funky note, but you're right. It's
So just in 2 days, and that that cuts across so many things, and a pivotal day in human history.
Yep. All right, you guys. Thank you again for listening. Mike, anything else before we go?
Not that I can think of. Shout out to Sandy once again. Thank you.
Shout out to Moogie.
And another love hug to Oren.
And a big shout out to Kipley.
Yeah. I get to see her soon.
Shut up.
All right. Have a great one, you guys. And again, thanks for listening. And we will see you next week for episode 282. Until then, live long and prosper.
Kapla.
Sponsor me.
Joel on True. Movie Mind Changers. GNT 281.
Music for the GNT show is provided by 5 Year Mission, Enterprise Blues Band, Warp 11, Andrew Allen, and Rethor.
Hashtag
The
I'm a fart
GNT
guy.
show is a BLB production.
Move ahead, warp factor 10. Put a mini skirt on Mayo Man. Represent the human race. And we make space a happy place. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I've sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero G.